Peace, everyone. At this instance, I've arisen to say we have visiting guests and visiting friends and strangers in the audience. If any of our visiting guests, visiting friends, or strangers desire to speak, they're welcome to do so. You're welcome to speak on any subject you wish to, as this is the hall of democracy put into action and in our daily transactions. You wish to say you are free to speak. You have the freedom of speech as well also as the freedom of the press, so long as you tell the truth. Aren't you glad? For this cause, all peoples are free to be governed by their highest intuition, so long as they express democracy, brotherhood, Christianity, and Judaism as synonymous, and do not ridicule nor try to condemn others because of your religious, political, or national affiliation. The privilege to realize that the time is not far distant when all of the nations of the earth shall be united together, just as we have them here jurisdictionally. No doubt you heard someone speak of the Lord's Supper of 1900 years ago, but we are happy to say we are daily having the Lord's Supper, not only here but universally. All people can come. Yea, the peoples of the earth universally, they have the privilege to unite together and bring an end to divisibility. For truly did our national political document say, we are one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are happy to demonstrate and to portray the mystery of the indivisibility of America. That's why the people love to come to America. Because it is the land of the free and the home of the brave. It's a place where all nations of the earth can have liberty and equity and justice. The time is not far distant when Uncle Sam shall bring an end to that line of demarcation and the immigration barriers. All tariffs and immigration barriers shall come down. And the peoples of the earth shall be free eventually to unite in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Aren't you glad? Well, there will be no more warfare and no more bloodshed. The barriers and limitations through the line of demarcation and that alien yoke of bondage, those barriers have kept the people severed. To express divisibility of races, creeds, and colors, of nationalities and national origins, and division of every kind. But oh, how glorious it is to realize our inscription as inscribed on our coin, E pluribus unum, and in God we trust. You can trust in God when you are all united together. Same as I said, the time of the war. If we, the people, unite together consolidatedly and by bonds unlimitedly, the Axis will surrender unconditionally, and they did it. This is not a supposition. We have records to bear witness to what I'm telling you. Because I call for the unification not only of the United countries of the Americas, but I call for the unification of all united allied sovereignty to bring an end to all divisibility and to make a place in which you can live in peaceful and quiet resting places. For truly, this is the cradle of democracy. Not only the cradle of democracy, but I have made it the conscious seat of the universe. Now they shall come from every civilized country in the world, and shall continue to come, and come together. And there will be no more divisibility of nations and of people. For as it is right here, someday it shall be all over this wide extended plain. And none shall lack in God's abundance when they are united together indivisibly, and shall realize they are one people universally. This looks good, does it not? This is a sample and an example how the whole world will be after a while. We shall not be divided in races, creeds, and colors, and all sorts of abominations to create warfare and bloodshed. And it shall not be eventually in other countries as it has been. Almost every generation you find, especially in the European countries, warfare and bloodshed. Aren't you glad? You're glad to see and to know that we are working to that end, to bring an end to all divisibility in this and in all other countries. For we shall be one universal nation, indivisible. And we shall have liberty and justice for all. That's what we are rejoicing about. We have many here and coming here now from under the British government. Many of them are coming from under the British government. Some from Australia. Some from the British West India Islands. And some from Canada. And some from England proper. Why? Because they find that which they sought diligently here in America. Aren't you glad? Do you not find that which you sought diligently here in America? Aren't you glad, I said? For truly did Abraham Lincoln say that this whole nation might have a new birth of freedom under God. You all have sought that freedom. Freedom from racism. Freedom from sectarianism. Freedom from division of every kind. And from every barrier and from every limitation, so that you might have access to life, liberty, and the reality of happiness. This is the way to find it. By living soberly, righteously, and godly, and by loving your fellow brothers, even as you love yourself. It's wonderful, is it not? We have some from Australia, some from New Zealand, some from Panama, and some from the British West Indies, and some from Africa, some from England, and some from Germany proper. And we have those of my followers lifting up the flag of the free in Australia and New Zealand, and even in Germany and Italy today, as we lift it up here. They shall recognize democracy, brotherhood, Christianity, and Americanism. You heard them singing it a little while ago in Australia, did you not? Americanism and Christianity as synonymous. For this cause we do rejoice and real glad, for we know this is the key to the mystery, as Jesus said to Simon on the Mount of Transfiguration. When Simon told him who he was, I say that thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus said, Simon, I give you the keys of the kingdom. Whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. We are happy to know that this recognition is truly the keys to the mysteries of the Scripture and to the secrets of the ages that will solve your every problem. For truly, as I have declared, the spirit of the consciousness of the presence of God is the source of all supply, and it will satisfy every good desire. When you are conscious of God's presence, as in Australia, as you heard them, even though in Switzerland and in the immediate war zone. My followers are there, blessed with the abundance of the fullness, and they are conscious of good, and they find no space vacant of the fullness thereof. Aren't you glad? Banquet tables are spread there as they are here, and they have the abundance there because they are conscious of God's presence, and they live thus accordingly. Vice and crime and sin and debauchery of every kind I eradicate and dispel from the conscious mentality of them. I purify the sons of Levi as silver and as gold are purged, so that they might offer to the Lord an offering in righteousness, as in former years and as in the days of old. For this cause we are rejoicing, and we are happy to present to the world at large a slight sketch and a reflection of a percent of a fraction of a grain of what shall be all over this wide extended plain, and we all shall see and understand this is the kind of world in which we would like to live, where all can live the abundant life of health, of happiness, of honesty, of competence, and of truth, of purity of mind, of aim, and of purpose, where naught can make us ashamed. Aren't you glad? I need not say more, for I have long since declared, I will preach Christ in words, it's true, but more so in deeds and in action. I will put my spirit in the people, and I will cause them to walk in my statutes. They shall not live in lacks, wants, and limitations. They shall not live in adverse and undesirable conditions. For I have declared, I came as the poorest among men, yet making many rich. And if you will allow it to be, so be it unto thee. I thank you. Peace, everyone. I would just like to say, as aforesaid, as we have visitors and strangers among us, we want them to feel democratic and know that this is democracy in action. You have the privilege to speak by moving volitionally, even as we do if you care to. If you do not care to move volitionally as we do, if you give us your names, addresses, and professions, we will introduce you according to custom. I thank you.